Good evening, everybody, and this is Portly Johnson, and this is a Roll-Up Productions. So I'll be telling a story about, it's a memory from about 20 years ago, and it takes place at a gas station that I used to work at downtown in a place where I live. And I was supposed to be hired to work the afternoon and sometimes the midnight shift as a cashier. Well, anyway, I began training there and learning how to do what I was supposed to do. And there used to be a woman that worked there. Let's call her Mindy. She was an older woman, maybe in her 40s, late 40s, something like that. And apparently she used to work there and quit or was fired for some odd reason. But I noticed every day, or the days I was supposed to work, she was always in there. And there was a little table where you could sit and eat and kind of hang out. Well, she used to always sit there when I worked. And I noticed when I was taking people's orders and helping people out, she would stare at me. I mean, stare. To a point where it was kind of uncomfortable. At the time, I think I was like 22, 23 years old. So I was kind of into women my age or, little more, little less. But this woman looked more like my auntie. And not to be mean, she had one of the best looking mullets I've ever seen in my life. She wore a pair of bifocals, and most importantly, she had a big old cold sore hanging off of her lip. I kind of got this vibe from her. It was very predatory, stalkerish, and sometimes she would wait for my shift to finish, which would be around 11 o'clock at night. She asked me to go out to a bar or go out to eat with her, and I would make some kind of excuse to put her off. You could tell that this was kind of aggravating her, and you could start to hear her whispers. Other people would walk in there and hang out and talk and whatnot, and she would always make these little backhanded comments towards me. Well, anyway, one night, again, she waited for me to get off, and I said, well, you know what, let's go for a ride, which, in the back of my head, I knew this was a bad decision. So anyway, we go driving for, maybe 20, 25 minutes, and we go out to the lake, and it's about midnight, and we pull off to this secluded area near the lake. So anyway, we're sitting there kind of listening to music, and I can just see her staring a hole through my head. She made a proposal to me, and I told her, I'm kind of seeing somebody, and I tried to decline as politely as I possibly could. Well, she quickly put the car in gear, and we sped off. So anyway, she drives us back to the gas station. She drops me off. I say bye, and then she just peels off. Well, the next time I come into work, I start to see people staring. They're kind of grinning at me, and I kind of get the vibe I know what's going on. So next time I'm going to the back getting stock, one of the coworkers come up to me and say, hey man, are you gay? And I looked at them and I said, oh my goodness. I said, no. She said, well, the other night, Mindy said she tried to make a move on you and you declined. And I replied, I said, well, ma'am, I'm 23-something years old. I'm not into aunties. I'm not into older women. Not to say there's not pretty women and all, but let's just say this woman was a female version of Shrek. So Anyway, the smirks, the giggles, the comments, whatnot go on. Well, I end up meeting this other girl who used to come to the store. I used to know her from a previous circle I used to hang out with. And she was quite pretty and she was close to my age. So anyway, we begin to date. And one night she shows up and Mindy is sitting there. Once again, we talk and go outside for a little privacy. So anyway, the next day, she kind of has a mean look towards me or whatever. And then I guess the rumor was now I was a bisexual. And I just threw my hands in the air. Obviously, this woman had trouble with rejection. But this is one of the first times I felt really like I was being stalked, some kind of predatory type person. So it does happen with women, and you do hear it more frequently. I heard a woman in Florida was charged for having sex with 5 minors in a gangbang. So just keep in mind, the predatory, creepy thing just doesn't lie with the men. It also happens to be a female thing. But anyway, I thought I'd just share this story. This is Poor Lee Johnson. Try to stay safe out there. And good evening.
You're free. What are you doing throwing stones at the window?
They're not stones, these are little shells. Here you go. Oh, well played.